So Kshama Sawant went on the Bad Faith podcast, and she talked about the Democrats, the progressive strategy of going along to get along, and how stupid it is. Pretty stupid. And she's even more left than every progressive put together, including me. And if everyone who watches my videos, you already know. And if you don't, you're just on MSNBC, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all of those, Fox News. You're about to learn a lot today. Let me move this. Yep, you heard that? My soda. So here's Kshama Sawant talking about this strategy and why it's a failure of a strategy. Watch this.
Remember what they were saying when we were arguing that when a section of the left was saying, yes, absolutely, there is an opportunity instead of just voting for Pelosi as speaker, actually the squad should withhold the vote and use it as a moment to build real pressure for Medicare for all. But what we said, and at least what Socialist Alternative said, was that it's not just as some sort of drama, or sort of meaningless political theater, but to actually use the force the vote tactic in the context of helping to build mass rallies and conferences around Medicare for all. But at that time, AOC and also sections of DSA, they said that, well, this is not the moment to use your political capital. And in fact, I remember AOC in her response to force the vote, and I think she genuinely meant this. She said, instead of this, we should fight for something winnable, which is $15 an hour. Well, here we are talking about $15 an hour. And again, Biden, Harris, Schumer, Pelosi, all the stalwarts, big business stalwarts of the party are throwing excuse after excuse. It's the parliamentarian, it's the rules, it's the decorum, it's Joe Manchin. So I think what we have to point to is sort of the endless logic of making excuses for the Democratic establishment. So today it's this excuse, tomorrow it's another excuse. Yesterday it was Medicare for all, today it's $15 an hour. This is a failed strategy. I think that's what we need to point out. It's not so much about whether AOC is genuine or not. The question is the strategy of not being willing to go into open combat against the establishment, is that working or not? And it's clearly not working.
Yeah, she gets it. She absolutely gets it. And so the first thing I'll say is, she said it's not whether they're genuine, AOC is genuine or not. Yeah, it is. It's not only about it, but it is about that, along with their strategy. So AOC is not genuine. Because I want healthcare for everybody. Then why didn't you force the vote? Why didn't you come out and say, I'm going to force the vote on Medicare for all and Pelosi will not become Speaker of the House if she doesn't vow to give us a vote on Medicare for all? She doesn't do that. I wanna raise people's wages. Why don't you force the vote? Why don't you force the vote, AOC? Pelosi's mama bear, whatever. So AOC doesn't care for you. AOC might say that she does, and which is where she gets her popularity, but her actions in Congress since mid-2019 and on, or I would say late 2019, have been absolutely horrendous. Predominantly awful. Okay? So don't tell me AOC is genuine, because she's fucking not genuine, okay? Genuine in how she just wants her power, and she just wants to wait until she gets the amount of power she wants. Absolutely. But not genuine in wanting to help you. So it is, they're not, none of them are genuine, otherwise they would have forced the vote. But anyway, she's right that the Democratic Party always comes up with excuses. A lot of excuses. Because they're like, oh, it's the parliamentarian. It's the rules. It's the parliamentarian. She said we couldn't do the minimum wage in the bill. And you could fire her. You know that. Oh, it's the rules. The rules say this. They're arcane rules. It's not like you can't change them. Oh, it's Joe Manchin. Oh, no, it's decorum. We need to maintain respect in the Senate. Whatever. Like the Republicans did that to you, for you. Or to anybody. To you. No, they didn't. Oh, it's Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's the problem. Then make yourselves the problem. Okay, Joe Manchin wants to be the problem. I'll be the problem. I'll step in and I'll force the vote. But no, they didn't do that. So there's always an excuse not to do something from Democratic leadership and the rest of them and the progressives. Kshama Sawant is correct. She's like, look, it's Pelosi, it's Schumer, it's Biden, it's Harris, and all of them. They're the status quo protectors and the Wall Street dogs and Mamies. They're the establishment ghouls. Of course they're going to not want to support the minimum wage. But it's time to stop supporting all of their excuses. So, now here's the thing. The Justice Democrats were started by Kyle Kalinske of Secular Talk, Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, who are sellouts. And you have Shrikar Chakrabarti, and I don't remember who else founded it. So all those founders founded this party or organization to be hostile to the Democratic Party, to do a hostile takeover of the Democratic Party. The Tea Party in 2010, they came in and told the Republican Party, now you're going to go more to the right or we're going to knock your asses out. And it took John Boehner, Paul Ryan, Eric Cantor, all those Republicans who hated them because they went against the establishment in some way because they wanted to be more corporate business. So did the Tea Party. But anyway, they were pushed out because they're not messing around. The right wing knows how to get power. But now, and so these progressives went out and said, "Oh, we want to play along to get along. We want to call Nancy Pelosi, Mama Bear," and they don't force the vote. And it's stupid. It's pathetic. And a lot of times they don't want so they're not doing the original plan, which was a hostile takeover. The Justice Democrats are a failed experiment. They tried, they failed. It's time to get rid of them. Someone should primary all these people. And so you have so another thing that that they have a problem with is, well, you see, if we go against Democratic leadership, they're not going to put us in committees. We're not going to get to do procedural things. No one gives a crap about that. No one gives a crap about your committees. They don't care which one you're on. They don't care what procedural crap is going on. They care that you get more money in their pockets. That's what they care about. And then they say, oh, well, then the media is going to come after us and we're going to be smeared and all of that. How terrible. They smear you anyway. They hate you anyway. This is the thing that Kshama Sawant was talking about. They don't like you anyway. They detest you. So why not go against them? Guys, the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan group, said that they would, if they voted for the 15 minimum wage, they would have helped 27 million Americans get out of poverty. They would have lifted 27 million people out of poverty. 27 million. But no. They didn't do it. So they left you all without money, without more money. So they eliminated your chance of getting a living wage because they wouldn't go out and force the vote. This strategy of go along to get along, oh please, maybe I'll ask Pelosi really nicely and maybe she'll help me out and we'll become great and we'll have a great working relationship and she'll give us more, something or anything. What? It's never worked! It's never worked! Ever! Excuse the people upstairs. Yes, you hear them. When has this strategy ever worked? Whenever you say, name me something that the squad has gotten us, name it. They can never name it. Never. Jesus Christ. They can't name it because it doesn't exist. Because they're not fighters. They don't care about you. They didn't force the vote on Medicare for all. And that's what AOC said. Kshama Sawant is correct. AOC was bashing force the vote because she was like, oh, we might as well do it for something that'll pass. Like $15 an hour. Pretty good idea, huh, AOC? And then what does she do? More excuses. Oh, we don't have the numbers. Oh, the media is going to hate us. They'll hate you anyway. Oh, they put the bill in front of me and they said, oh, it has unemployment and it has this. You're really going to, and it has stimulus checks. So you're going to not give it to people? That's your leverage. That's where you got to go and fight. Fight them. Yeah, okay. Put a $15 minimum wage in them. Or I'll do the Manchin rule. I'm going to walk away if you don't put the minimum wage in there, bitch. Put it in there. Now. And they won't do it. Ever. They'll never do it. Every single time they'll... You gotta fight because the people need you to fight. That's what we sent you there for. You're a failed experiment because you never fight. And because you never fight, nobody has health care right now. Most people don't have health care. We don't have recurring checks. We don't have a $15 minimum wage. Because of you. And if the media smears you, if the leadership attacks you, you've done your job. They say, oh, it'll hurt my popularity. Because that's all they care about. Why do you think they're tweeting and praising this bill in interviews? Because they want their appeasement and they want to maintain their popularity, but they won't do anything about it when they have the power. Pelosi has such a small majority in the House. Really small majority. And they won't do a thing about it. Why do you think when I say, bring me something the squad has done, it doesn't exist? Because it doesn't exist. It will never exist. Never. If you guys, the squad, and I know I'm a small podcast, but please share this with your friends, your family, get it circulated, because they need to know this. And Kyle Kalinski's mentioned it, and Jimmy Dore's mentioned it, Secular Talk and Jimmy Dore Show. You guys will be unsung heroes! Even more than you are now! Right now you're frauds, because you won't do a goddamn thing about it. You won't improve people's lives, but if you actually go out, stand up against leadership, and piss them the fuck off, and you get us a living wage, and you give us health care, you will be even more popular. I can promise you that. But they don't want to be another Ralph Nader who actually stood up for the people, who actually is a hero. They don't want to be that. And when Ralph Nader went to go give them advice, the only person who talked to them was Rashida Tlaib. I think Ilhan Omar sent staffers. AOC didn't even do none of that. Ayanna Pressley didn't either. So, and you know, the only time they'll ever do it is against Republicans. Only time they'll do it is against Republicans. Because Kshama Sawant is saying we need to do open combat against the Democratic Party and the establishment of both parties. And yet they won't do it, but when it's about the Republicans, they will. And another thing, these people are followers. They're not leaders. They need one person to come out and say, I'm for this. And then, oh, me too. Let me give you my statement. They did it with that whole Trump thing, that whole Capitol riot. Oh, all Republicans should be expelled. Cory Bush came out, and then Jamal Bowman and everybody else. Oh, yes, absolutely. Hey, Cruz, why don't you resign? Cruz, Resign. Wow, you're able to puff your chest out for that, but not to help us. You're losers. You're bastards. All of you. Never vote for a Democrat again. Ever. They're never going to fight for you. They all suck. So, this whole go along to get along strategy has gotten us nothing. It hasn't worked. It's never going to work. And you need to go back to doing combat against the Democratic Party.